Hey guys, this is Mack from Rainforest Reptile Shows, and there's been a lot of questions regarding the most recent sighting of Goose, the water monitor in Douglas, Massachusetts. So guys, I just wanted to take a minute and answer some of your questions that have been getting posted very consistently, and things that people have reached out individually about. And here we go. The first question that we've been getting a lot is, will he be euthanized if he's caught? No, this animal will not be euthanized if they're caught. They will go to an animal sanctuary where they'll live out the rest of their days in a positive well-being state. We've been working with Massachusetts law enforcement and Massachusetts Environmental Police for over 20 years now. Since 1996, the Stoneham Cobra that was loose in a school in Stoneham, Massachusetts, that animal actually came into our care at that time, and we've been consulting and working with law enforcement agencies ever since that point. These animals do not get euthanized. We've taken in hundreds of reptiles throughout New England and even beyond over the years, if not thousands of animals that all live with us and will be able to live out the rest of their days in a really good condition, really emphasizing their well-being. Are they really fast? Yes, water monitors are very quick and fast-moving animals. They can run away very, very quickly, and many of the times there's been a lot of sightings, reported sightings. However, there's been minimal confirmed sightings. That's why this one is getting so much traction, because there was actually a photograph going with this animal. There's been many sightings that people have been mistaking Goose for things like snapping turtles, and they're very common throughout the state. If you see a reptile nose sticking out of the water, a lot of people think that it's a monitor, but it's actually a common snapping turtle. So that's a big reason why it's been difficult to capture and find out exactly where Goose is. They will travel, but an animal like this that's been in captivity probably wouldn't be traveling a super far distance. They're most likely going to be staying near the general first area. It has been a couple weeks now, so there has been an opportunity to move, but we've only really seen about a 2-mile move from the initial area where Goose escaped. What is a better, would it be better to leave him without being caught and let him live out the rest of his days? Well, if we did that, as the cold temperature starts to come in, this animal will not be able to survive. So we will do our absolute best to try and capture Goose. However, it's not an easy feat. There's many people that have come in and said things like, well, I can catch this animal in an hour. There's no way. This animal is not something that's easy, first of all, to find in the general space, because it is a largely forested area. It's extremely difficult because there's burrows, there's holes in the ground, there's all different kinds of water sources and things that this animal could hide in, and it's really difficult to know exactly where they would be. If we knew exactly where this animal would be or is, we could find it immediately. However, with all different kinds of resources that we've been able to utilize, it's still been extremely difficult to capture this animal. Can you have them? No, this animal is illegal in the state of Massachusetts without the proper permitting through the state. It's important that this animal goes to a location where they can thrive, and working with people that have worked with species similar and have expertise working with them. Are they venomous? They're not considered a venomous lizard. Recently, the Komodo dragon, which is a close cousin, has actually been classified as a venomous lizard and has been found to actually have venom glands and is now considered the third venomous lizard species, behind the Gila monster and the beaded lizard down in the southwestern part of the United States and down into Mexico. But this animal is not venomous. That's not something that we need to worry about. However, they do have bacteria in their mouths that can cause some pretty serious damage if left untreated. So if there was ever a bite by an animal like this, it would be important to seek medical attention. And then lastly, why is this animal so hard to catch? I mentioned a few of these different reasons. They're extremely smart. A lot of people don't realize how smart a monitor lizard like this is. I've worked in zoos for many years. I've worked with Komodo dragons, I've worked with water monitors, I've worked with black-throated monitors, white-throated monitors, all different kinds of monitor species, and all of them are incredibly intelligent. We've been able to train them to do things like voluntarily open up their mouth on cue, take medications on cue, go onto a scale, voluntarily participate in their own vet care, do all different kinds of behaviors, all through training methods and positive reinforcement training. That's incredibly important when you're dealing with these types of animals. But they are incredibly intelligent, and if they feel like there's something up, most likely they're not going to go near that general space. So it is an incredibly hard feat to capture an animal like this, but again, it's not something that we want to spread fear or not true facts. We want to make sure that we're spreading the facts about an animal like this. So guys, if you do have any other questions, please feel free to post them in the comments below. We do appreciate everyone being interested. However, it is something that a lot of these times, cases like this do get sensationalized, and it's not something that we need to be over the top concerned about. It's not going to pose an immediate threat to anybody unless you go up and try and capture them. Do not do that. Leave it up to the professionals. If you do sight this animal, please, please, please alert the Massachusetts Environmental Police immediately. They will place this animal in an animal sanctuary or a reptile sanctuary, most likely at RRS Oasis, but it depends on the situations. So friends, if you do have any other questions, please feel free to reach out. We appreciate your time, and thanks for watching the video. Thanks. Bye.